Hello, welcome to RDLP. I'm your Prince of Play, Solon. We're playing Dandelion, which is brought to you. And when we last left off, we died. We died, my bad. So, I got back to where we were. And we've learned our lesson. See that, see that? That's us gonna take care of ourselves. We're gonna take care of ourselves from now on. Let our pressure got a little bit too high and we kind of boiled over to the point of death, which is kind of the beautiful, like, I don't know what it is about it, but like games usually have their mechanics on their face where it's like, you do X, Y will happen, and that is consistent and every time that'll happen. But dating sims don't often. Usually like X will happen and Y, Z, A, B, gamma, delta, like different things could happen any time, or nothing will happen. Like there's a huge duality of like things that could happen in any other dating sims. Usually in a dating sim, there's always one point where it's like, if you do something, you're gonna die. You're not even gonna, it's not like, oh, hey, we're gonna like slap you on the wrist. Hey, don't do that again. That's a no-no. You lose 1 life out of 3. It's, you're dead. You're dead. You did this wrong. You're dead. And we hit that here. We hit that here real hard, and it was kind of amazing. And it's always a super generic thing. It's always like, oh, I cannot live any longer. Even though like there's a whole bunch of other stuff happening in your life that like could totally relate to the situation. They're just like, nope, can't live any longer. My life's horrible, bye. And then you die. Bad end, bad end. So that was amazing. That was wonderful. And I wanted to get to it eventually. I just wanted to be in control of doing it and not be because, oh, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. But yeah, so we fixed everything. You can see our Jihei here, not our Jihei, our Hijei. Hijei here, looking pretty good. Better than ever before. And Jihei himself also looking real good on a lot of levels. Very, very satisfied. Very, very 7 stamps. Very, very, let me, very, very, does he like me? Does he like me? Yes, he does. I've been a good girl. Sorry, Heejung is, looking pretty good. Looking better than ever. Eyesight, specifically, looking with her eyeballs better than ever. And, I've figured out how to use items and how to, like, access these things. And because of that, it's kept all my stress and pressure way, way low. So now we can walk into a new weekend. It is, as you can see, October 28th. And we can get back into the grind of things. And it's kind of a grind. It's kind of interesting and weird how it's a grind. Why is it a grind? Why do they want the main, like, core gameplay loop to happen over and over so consistently and not make it longer or deeper than this? But yeah, I've kind of figured out most of how to do things. Like, oh, Jihei is in the room. I'm going to watch a documentary. You encounter Jihei. Boom, done. Now we're going to smile at Jihei. You have a beautiful smile, my lady. My lady, would you like to watch it as well? I'm only saying this because it seems that you are having trouble coming up with new recipes for dinner. When you run out of ideas, my lady, you can tell me to cook instead. Yay! and then good job. Pat on the back. You did your good. And then it's the next day, and we just over and over and over, making sure all of our meters are good. Oh, we're gonna unlock some activity. The thing is, I don't know if I need any more activities. Cause like, I'm pretty good. Pretty good on everything. Let's just decrease the effects of stress. So if we look at our boys, we have unlocked the next part of Jihei's relationship points. This took forever and was really important because we kept hitting that cap and we didn't know what to do. Apparently just keep on trucking. Don't do anything different. I also, there's a lot of folks in chat telling me to focus on Jiyun as well. And I was really appreciative. I found some resources, thanks to a couple of you that guided me in the right direction of how to make this route different from the other ones. There are different goals in mind, especially the stamps are a very different goal. I thought it would look good on you, milady. Whoa, we're not even gonna have an option? What's this? Jihei gave me a vase! Holy crap, that's cool! It's just as I thought. The day is over. I should take a rest and have a fresh new start tomorrow. Now, happy Halloween. It's just literally a day like any other day. Give me more things. Jihei, give me more things. Keep smiling. It's sad that it's hard to find large grassy fields in this world. That's right, cooking has everything for you. Cooking's awesome. Oh no, this is Halloween, the 31st. Happy Halloween. Let's get that art skill up. But yeah, we could literally just keep following him around. Just basically stalking the dude. I was also suggested to not give Jihei items because they just don't really do a lot for his route. Which was kind of interesting. It was weird how that works out. We can totally stare at Jihei's crotch. That is a thing that we can do. And it is disconcerting to say the least. You gonna water my plants or are you just gonna stare at my dick all day? Maybe a little of both. Maybe water the plants, water the boy. By the way, I wonder where young master is. Oh good, did a little crotch staring on Halloween. It's shocking! Scandalous! Today's November 1st. Heejung spent the day drawing at home and pressure increased. And there we go. We got a new thing. So, basically, life is good right now. Life is actually better than before the game over. Everything is actually going very well, and all it took was me to do a little bit of work off screen, because for some reason, I'm able to perform a little better off camera, and that's especially because I can autosave. So I can basically, anytime you go into the living room and there's like, your boy isn't there, you can just reload that save and then drop back in, and it's literally cheating. It's literally cheating. But that's because it's based on a random timer, so if it's randomized, there's nothing I can do about it, so. Anyway, let's see what today's sketch is on the 1st of November. Huh. Jay seems to have realized that I feel very awkward and uncomfortable whenever I'm in front of him. Honey, it's been like a month and a half. I would hope he figured this out by now. Honey, that's probably why he's acting so uncomfortable in front of me too. You all are reciprocating each other. Hey, you're worried about something, right? I was sitting at the kitchen table just as I let out a big sigh. Jisoo walked in to get some water. I could talk to Jisoo just fine. Why can't I control myself in front of Jihei? What is it? Tell me, food giver. Be quiet, dummy. I snapped at Jisoo. Well, that's not gonna start a conversation. That's strange. I have no problems at all getting angry at Jisoo or fault him for things. But I can't treat Jihei like I treat Jisoo. For some reason, I wasn't comfortable around him. Jeez, why are you so pissed? Jisoo's ears dropped. Felt bad about telling Jisoo off. He did nothing wrong. Hey, food giver, what up? Shut the fuck up, Jisoo. Can you see I'm sighing right here? Can a lady do a sigh in her own goddamn kitchen? Tell me. I don't really want to talk about it. Is it a guy problem? Everything in my life's a guy problem! All of you are my problem! No. No? Don't tell me he was suspecting something. No, then what is it? Just tell me. It doesn't concern you at all. How can I say this to Jisoo? It'll make you feel better. Jisoo looked at me with anticipation. Would it really make me feel better to talk it over with others? I can't talk to people around me about Jihei. Maybe I'd better tell Jisoo. He could help. I guess it will make me feel better to have someone listen to me rather than to keep it inside. Don't tell anyone. Okay, I'll promise. Is it really all right to trust a black cat? I felt a little uncertain, but I really did think I'd feel better after talking about it. Without knowing where to start, I let out a sigh. You know, I'm always behaving strangely these days. I've been a total weirdo. Jisoo's eyes widened at my words. Don't tell me you have that magic thing, you know, that once a month thing. That is a period. Jisoo, grow up. My dude. Sometimes the uterine walls gotta do their thing, and we've gotta eject those guys somehow. Periods happen, this is just life. What? You stupid cat! You stupid cat! You perv, that's not what I'm talking about. Jisoo chuckled as if he was amused. Every time I talk to this cat, I feel like he just is messing with me. Then why are you behaving strangely? It's Jihei. Being around Jihei makes me act weird. What, it's about him? Jisoo looked disappointed. Oh, I'm sorry, Jisoo. It's not about you, baby. It's not about you. Come to think of it, the two are not exactly friends. I think I've seen them get into small quarrels a few times. Most of the time, Jisoo would get mad and blurt out an insult, and Jihei would aggravate the situation by being his noble self. Are rabbits and cats enemies in their world? Yeah, well, whatever. I'll listen there the way. Jisoo looked a bit gloomy. Not about me. Why is he suddenly making that expression? He looks so annoyed. Can I really talk to him about this? So, how do you behave then? Like, explain this. That is... How do I explain this? When I'm with you, I can say anything I want, and I feel very comfortable. But when I'm with Jihei... When you're with him, what? With Jihei, how should I say this? I feel uncomfortable and can't speak well. It's just... It's strange. It's strange. You feel uncomfortable around him. Yeah. Then just don't talk to him. Just talk to me. Hey! That's true, but he bothers me. For some reason, I want to go up to talk to him. Maybe it's my incessant staring and talking with him constantly all the time. Every single day. And when he complimented my drawing last time, I was both embarrassed and happy. I actually want to become closer to Jihei. How can I get to know him without feeling awkward? Even I don't really know why I feel this way. Hey, do you really want to get to know him? Nah, I'm just playing. It's so weird, there's such a disconnect between me day-to-day life and sketch me. Heejung is like, there's a whole other person in sketches. Meanwhile, all the other time is like, yeah, we're cooking together, we're bathing together, watching a million documentaries together all the time. It's easy. It's like goofy easy. Anyway, I guess it's kind of like the magical realism of the situations that sketch Heejung is wildly different from everything else. So much so that she just sometimes up and dies. Like a goldfish. She's like a picky goldfish. Instead of avoiding him because things are awkward, I want to have a casual conversation with him, get to know him better. I don't think Jisoo's quite gonna understand that I want to date this boy, and that's why it's awkward. I was so glad that Jihei was interested in my drawings. It made my heart flutter. And I don't know why, but I always want to be with Jihei. Somehow I get excited whenever I see him, but things get extremely awkward when I'm next to him. I do want to get to know him. I told Jisoo how I truly felt. Jisoo sighed deeply. His expression darkened. What's with him? He might give you a hard time. What? That's completely out of the blue. Jihei's gonna give me a hard time? But Jihei's a gentleman. He can only think about himself. Jihei only thinks about himself. Is he saying these things on purpose because he personally doesn't like Jihei? No, he's not. Of course, it's the same for all of us. Like, we're dudes, we're just super vain all the time. Very conceited. I don't get it. What do you mean it's all the same for all of you? I don't understand what Jisoo's trying to say. And what does he mean that Jihei only thinks about himself? I have no idea why Jisoo is saying such a thing. Jihei is the most considerate person I know. You'd better be careful. Jisoo leaned in close as he warned me. What are you doing? We're not humans. Our eyes locked, and Jisoo's golden eyes sent chills down my spine. We're animals. Dang it! I was hoping y'all were gonna say we're wizards. We're magical witchcraft creatures. We're animals. All right. That's fair. And the warning is, this warning is really appropriate, important, because he's saying that because everyone's animals, they're not humans. The idea being that don't get too close. Don't get too close, because if you get too close, everything will just dissolve away at some point. Because they're animals. They're not humans. They're not real. They're somehow othered in like a mystical, magical kind of way. When Jisoo reached his hand towards me, I quickly stood up from the chair. My say! Animals, all of you! There was a silence between us. Jisoo lowered his hand in disappointment. Hey, you don't trust me? I thought I was nice to you in my own special way. In his own way. What do you mean? Why are you this weird? You know you shouldn't trust anyone. If you want to end up with him, it's better just to not trust anyone. We all have the same basic mentality. What do you mean? I can't tell whether he was trying to help me or threaten me or mislead me. I shouldn't trust anyone? Why did he say that? Does he know something about Jihei that I don't? I felt confused. I think the hero is here now. Okay, short aside, it's kind of interesting that he's trying to tell us to distance ourselves from everyone else. A, because mechanically that makes sense. You have to stay away from everyone else who is not the person you were targeting in order to get the good ending, the good path. That's pretty common for all of these kinds of games. However, the other thing is that part of being in a relationship is trusting other people. And the thing is he's trying to protect us from getting hurt emotionally. If we put too much trust in someone and they break that, then we're hurt. If we don't put a lot of trust in someone, then nobody can break it. So we're not hurt. This is a very male mentality, and I think that it's engendered in an important way because it's a defense mechanism. Anyway, that's cool. That's cool. I like that idea. So, enter hero stage right. I think that's right. I don't know how stage direction works.